Facebook. Welcome to another episode of the S Word Live. My name is Renee Hribar. I'm a sales strategist, speaker, and author of the book Sell Like a Mother. And I got Instagram here and I got Facebook. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about introverts today. So whether you're live or on the replay, I want you to raise your hand. Are you a self-proclaimed, card-holding, flag-waving, hey, Mara, introvert? If you are an introvert and you've struggled with sales, you got to tune in. We're going to talk about that today right now. What's up, girl? Mara is one of my favorite peeps. You're in Ohio, right? I got my Duck Donut shirt on today. Hey. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. I don't know. Hey, guys, say hello as you join, whether you're live or on the replay. I want you to let me know if you are or if you know someone who is a self-proclaimed card-holding, flag-waving introvert. And if they've ever said to you something like, man, I'm just not a natural at sales. I'm just not good at sales. So what do I do? So say hello as you join. Please share this with the ones you love. If you know a flag-waving, card-holding introvert who's ever said, kind of struggling with the sales thing, I want you to tag them, share it with them, let them know. We're going to go over right now some really key action steps that they can take today to get better at that one thing we all have to get good at. Because whether you're just trying to shuffle your kids out the door or whether you're trying to close that $1 million deal, the actions that we take, the systems that we make, the structure in our day is the same. I've sold things for $9 and things for $90,000. The only difference is my attitude. Cool. All right, so let's dive in. Say hello as you join. Yep, that's me, and it's true. What? All right, awesome. Okay, so, people say, oh, Renee, you're so energetic, you're so outgoing. Yeah, but I still like my alone time, and I think there's someone live with me that can attest to this. I grew up in a house where there were long periods of time when we just didn't have a TV because my parents were like, the idiot box does not need to live here. So let me know if your parents ever said things like that, if they called the TV the idiot box. So my parents definitely did, and there were long periods of time when we would, be like, okay, well, what are we going to read? And you've read every book in the house, and it wasn't like they were taking us to the library. They were busy, right? So that being said, I had to learn how to be with myself too, and it was really something that I think I carry on today. So here's what I want to talk about with introverts. The first thing I want to tell you that you can do today is you can tell a story from the past. So what do I mean by that exactly? When you tell a story from the past, you can say, well, when I had this situation, so you're speaking to a potential client and they're considering hiring you. And you're saying, well, and when I had this particular situation, whatever they're struggling with a former client, what they told me they really liked about working with me was X, Y, and Z. So can you guys use that phrase? I call these pocket phrases. Right? I want to keep them in my pocket for when I feel like I might need them. So can you use a phrase like that? Let me know in the comments whether you're live or on the replay, Instagram or Facebook, if you could use that phrase. When you are talking to a potential client, if you can say, yeah, you know what? A former client of mine, someone who had a similar situation, what they told me they liked about working with me was, right on? So that's a phrase that as an introvert, you're not being braggadocious. You're not like, I'm the best, everything's great, right? And this works for everybody, not just introverts, but extroverts as well. Because as extroverts, we do tend to be a little bit like, look at me. So this kind of brings it back down to relate to the rest of the world and live in reality. Awesome. So welcome, guys. If you're just joining, type #live because you are live on the S word. So definitely share this with your friends. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Linda. Hey, Veronica. What's up, guys? Okay, so what else can we do if you're an introvert and you're struggling in selling and you don't want to seem braggadocious? You really get nervous looking at someone and talking with them. Well, in the age of internet, it's very easy to get on a video call. I have a lot of clients that are introverts, and they were taught in the past by other business coaches that they should get on video calls because video converts. And you know what? I agree. Video does convert. But if you get freaked out by looking at someone in the eye virtually, then my advice to you is do an audio call, have your script out in front of you, have those those pieces, those pocket phrases in place so that you can go through it and not lose your place, so that you're comfortable. Fit Mongo says, yes, being with myself gives me energy to be with others. Yes, exactly. So let me know if that helps. If giving yourself the permission to not have to do a sales call on Skype or on Zoom or on any of the other platforms or FaceTime. It's okay to do a regular audio call. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions of dollars being exchanged every day and have been forever on a regular telephone call. You don't have to necessarily go on video. So if that freaks you out because you're an introvert, I don't want you to have to worry about it now. Here's your permission slip. Hold on, let me write it down. Here's your permission slip. Here you go. There's your permission slip. You now have permission to do regular audio calls. Woohoo! Excellent. Another thing that I feel that so many of my clients, because they are card-holding, flag-waving introverts, what they tell me is that when they talk with someone, they feel like, oh, geez, they need to close themselves. Like, I want them to really want it. I want them to, to come to me. And the answer is, that's not always going to work. I used an analogy the other day on a live group coaching call that I'm doing inside of Sell Like a Mother, which I love my program. You're going to love it too. And one of the analogies, one of the women that was on there, she's a life coach, and she's like, I just hate it when I feel like I'm giving them a bait and switch when I'm like, oh, getting to know them. So if you hung out with me in the length of time, it's called loving up. And then I'm like, well, hey, would you like to do this? I invite them to an offer, or I invite them to a call, or I invite them to a live stream or something, right? I'm like, well, it's kind of like, and here's the analogy, maybe you can relate to this. Have you ever gone into one of those really fancy boutiques, right? And no one greets you, and no one talks to you the whole time you're there. You're strolling, you're looking through the racks, you're picking things up. If that's the case, I know when I've gone into those places, I've felt unwelcome. I felt like I was out of place. I felt out of place. And so how does that relate exactly to this situation? Well, if you have someone come into your world, whether you've met them at a networking event, whether they're someone that you've met online, whether they're in a Facebook group that you're a part of, whether you're on your email list, when you meet someone, even if you're an introvert and you would rather just redo your website and work on your copy, the answer is you need to at least greet them and make them feel special. Make them know that they're seen. Not in a, haha, I see you, but in a, hey, I see you. How you doing? Right? Like to actually genuinely greet the person and get to know them in a genuine, authentic way. And it's one-on-one. So this is what I'm getting at. When it comes to being an introvert, it's hard to speak to like groups of people. But what I'm saying is you're just speaking to one person at a time. Just speak to one person at a time. And so when you meet them, wherever you meet them, greet them, follow them, compliment them, tell them how much you care, and don't let them feel unwanted because they are often not going to reach out to you. Going back to that same analogy of those fancy boutiques, have you ever gone into those where there are no prices on anything? If there are no prices on anything in one of the stores that you're in those fancy boutiques, what do you immediately think? I'll tell you what I think. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Candy. Hey, Kristen. What's up, guys, on Instagram and on Facebook? What do you immediately think if you're in one of those fancy boutiques and there are no prices on anything? Let me know in the comments whether you're live or on the replay. This goes into being an introvert saying, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to say anything. I don't want them to think they have to get it. I agree. We never want to force anybody because those people aren't happy customers. We only want to make sales that are picked to people that actually need what we have. So Kristen says, I think it's too expensive. Candy says, time to leave. Kristen says, haha. Linda says, too expensive. Right. So immediately they think it's too expensive. So for my introvert friends, I'm going to encourage you to be strong and confident and excited about saying the price. Whatever it is. Hey, my rates start anywhere from $500 to $50,000. It just depends on the level of support that you're looking for. And then when you actually have asked the questions and talked to them in detail and you've repeated back to them what they've said, then you can say, you know, I have some possible solutions. Would you like to hear them? And then you can say the price. I have this level of service where I give the client this. They can expect these results. I'm so excited about delivering it. These are what some other clients had to say who had that situation, who took me up on this level of service. It's only this much. Second level of service is this, and I get these results, and these are the kind of clients who I love to work with in that scenario. Here's some results that they like. Here's some things they told me they liked about it, and this is the price. Make sense? So Shannon says, and I am worth every penny. You are, my sweet. So I hope that these few action steps, and if you came in late, definitely go back to the beginning because we talked about what to do from the beginning. If you feel like an introvert and you feel like sales isn't your thing, I want you to feel comfortable in your skin and know that people need what you have. It's our moral responsibility to share that with them. Now, I am doing a full hour-long training later on tonight, 8 p.m. What's up? So even Miss Honolulu can join me. I saw Veronica jump on. I don't know if she's not Miss Honolulu, but she's in Hawaii. I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly now. So ultimately, it's going to be tonight. It's an hour-long presentation on exactly what I do every single day and what I teach my one-on-one clients to do so that they can go from 0 to sales in 10 minutes a day, like 10-minute sprints. And I say like sprints, and I mean, where's my phone? Oh, it's, do you see that? Where's my phone? It's literally in front of my face. Ever go like, where's my glasses? And they're on top of your head? Okay, just had a moment. Anyway, so I literally put a timer on for 10 minutes, and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. At the end of this presentation, the presentation is about 30 minutes, then I'm gonna have a 30-minute Q&A. So if you've got specific questions about your sales, come and join me. I'm definitely be talking about my program at the end. Abso-freaking-lutely, why wouldn't I? It's amazing. A lot of you guys who are on here have taken the program, and you guys have really told me you liked it. So I'll be talking about that too, but don't feel pressure to buy. Right on? Like, I know it's the best thing, and I know it's awesome, but it's got to be right for you right now. Either way, you're going to walk away with some really juicy nuggets, some real actionable results that you can take away from this. I've had people tell me that my free trainings are more effective than the paid trainings that they've taken. So I'm totally excited. I'm staying up past my bedtime, P.S. See, for those of you who know me, I wake up wicked early, like 4 a.m. And so 8 p.m. is usually my bedtime. So I'm going to be drinking some coffee this afternoon. I already had my green smoothie. Look, it's empty. And drinking lots of water. And I'll hopefully see you guys tonight. It's going to be a great day. All right, have a great one, guys. Woo, woo. All right, now I got to find all the buttons. I got to find all the buttons to log out. All right, here we go. Boop, boop, boop.